back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles. My name's Chris, and I'm the Batman statue collector, and a dream has certainly come true as the Infinity Studios life-size Joker bust, torso, whatever you want to call it, has arrived in the Batcave. Heath Ledger is my favorite villain. This Joker is my favorite character of all time, and now he is in the Batcave. I even named my son Ledger after him because I absolutely loved his performance. And this thing is so incredibly, insanely impressive. I am just in awe of it. It has taken me a full day to fully, grasp how amazing this thing is. And I just cannot wait to share my thoughts. I am tongue-tied. I am freaking out here, guys, because, again, this is absolutely insane. I mean, look at this. Look how cool he looks on camera. He looks even better in person. It is just absolutely insane that I have this. I want to thank Infinity Studios for making this in the first place so collectors can have something like this in your collection, because this is going to blow everybody away that comes to visit. It is absolutely that damn good. It is awesome. So without further ado, if you are new here, please subscribe, please like this video, and let's get into the review. All right, guys, so here we go. Just look at this thing. It is absolutely just insane from top to bottom. It is massive, and it is expensive, and it is not for everybody. There is no doubt. This has got a major creepy factor. So it's definitely not for everyone. And again, the price point is $4,000. Very, very impressive piece, but it is expensive, and it is going to take up a lot of room. So we'll kind of start down here at the bottom, and I want to show you the mask first, which is actually really cool. I talked about it a little bit in the unboxing. I feel like this mask is awesome. It is a plastic though. I was hoping it would be more of like a resin material, but it is like a kind of a lightweight plastic. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's I would say kind of fairly cheaply made. I was just maybe expecting a little bit more, although it is, I mean, it's solid. It's a nice solid feel to it. But I think it's really, really good. I know Queen Studios made a mask also, and I think that one's really good because it's actually got the interior mechanism where you actually can wear it, and you can wear this one too. I think this one might be painted just a little bit dark. It's got a little bit of an overspray to it, but it looks really good. I mean, that looks fantastic, and I really feel like the portrait itself is very, very accurate to the film. I feel like there are some cheaper versions out there that look nothing like this mask. They did a really bad job. So I think that this one is super movie accurate. I think it looks really great, obviously. I think the material used could have maybe been a little bit better, but this is just a nice little add-on. You can have him holding it in his backhand, but still a very, very cool mask. I really like what they did there. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the base here. As you can see, it's got this really nice black, shiny, sub base, which is great. It also has a Dark Knight logo, which is also great. It's also got some weathering in there, kind of make it look kind of marbly. I think that's kind of what they were going for. Or it could just be extra paint, I'm not sure, but it looks fine. I really like it, and you have all this rock crumbly base here as well. You also have all of the why so serious and the ha-has throughout, which look really great. And then here's some more under the coat here, as you can see right there, and that's awesome. And then this is really cool. So this is the Batman logo. You can see it's got the rebar sticking up and the red. It looks really great. Now this piece right here, it does literally just pop out. Which is awesome. And there you can see the actual light. It does have the light switch on the back. It does take 3 AAA batteries. And so you can have it on or off depending on if you want, but it does magnetize in just really nice and easy there. And it gives a nice little pop of red to the statue. So again, let me just kind of give you a full pan of him. So you can see the whole thing. So it looks really great, right? You also, of course, again, have this rock crumbly. This looks pretty decent. It's painted well. You also have the knife. This knife is, unfortunately, it's plastic. I was actually hoping that it would be real. Somebody brought up the fact that maybe it's because of the shipping, that, not having a real knife in there would be a problem. I have this exact knife upstairs, and so I might use the real one in this display. There is just a little keyhole right in the front here, and you can go in there. You see it's got the Joker Why So Serious, which it doesn't actually have that in the movie, so I would actually probably turn it around. But it just fits right in there like that, and again, it looks really great. Actually, I probably would not do that because I like the front detail better. And that is the blade that he used in the movie. So anyway, I'll probably put the real blade in there. Then as you go around the back, you're going to notice the great detail, not only in the clothing, which we'll get to here, which is, again, all real clothing, but he also has the hand in the back. Now, this is fully sculpted. This does key in, so you can key in the thumb. That is one of the areas that keys in. But you can really see the detail on the stitching. I think that looks really fantastic. And obviously the buckle here, it's got, now this is polystone, this is not silicone here. That's just something to consider if you're, wanting to display his skin. Looks great to me. And then you have the buckle that's all sculpted in. And again, this is the real fabric, real buttons, very accurate colors to the movie, I feel. And this is a very, very plush material, which is exactly what they used in the movie. I don't know how accurate these buttons are, but the purple itself is very, very well done. Kind of this velvety material. Looks really, really great. And then, of course, you can button that up however you want. You can also have him holding the knife, or also you can have him holding the mask, just kind of have it, however you want, with him holding it back here. So it's really just kind of whatever you want. It does add some depth to this, so that is something you have to consider. If you absolutely don't have the depth, you can take this hand out, and you wouldn't necessarily miss it if you're looking at it from the front. So again, that is something you can do, because this arm does key out from kind of like the elbow down. Again, you have the ha-has and the why so seriouses, which is great all the way through. And then, of course, at the very bottom, you have all of these tattered areas of the coat and, the interior coat. And that is all done to kind of represent kind of an explosion, kind of like the craziness of the character. This would obviously go well past the floor, which doesn't work. So I think it's kind of creative the way they did it. Instead of it just going straight across, I think that would have looked bad. I think this was a great alternative to do kind of these little tatters, these little tore areas. So I like it. I think it's really well done. Then again, going up the statue, you're going to have, again, really great real life material here. This is a coat. Again, it's really great. It's got the interior satin, which is nice. It's got all the button holes, and then, of course, the buttons on the outside. I buttoned these. You can show a little bit of skin if you want to. I kind of like that. And a little bit of the pop of orange. I think that is also nice against the purple. Looks great. You also, of course, have the keyed in hand. Again, fully sculpted here. This is a real card, so you can kind of position it however you want. But it just keys in very nicely. You can put whatever Joker card you have. But again, I feel like the gloves themselves are incredible. Very well sculpted. And it just matches the purple really nice to the coat. I think they did a really nice job. And then, of course, you just have all of that great fine detailing there. So very, very cool. Again, the coat to me looks very, very good. You can see a little bit of weathering. I would have maybe liked to have seen a little bit more weathering, but I think it looks really good because those edges were very weathered in the film. Some companies do like this giant stitch, like J&D did, and that is not accurate to the film. So I feel like this is very, very good. You have the interior coat. It's a very thin material, just exactly like what Ledger wore. It was not a thick coat, very, very thin. It actually kind of hugs the purple really nicely. And then if you have the vest as well. The vest is a very thick material. I did take out this from the button in the movie. He's got like a flower or a missing button there, depending on the scene, and so that's very awesome that you can do that. Just looks really great. I'm going to stand up now so you guys can see some other views of him. So again, I apologize for any shadows that you might see. The tie, I feel like, is pretty darn close to accurate. It's very difficult to get the exact look of the tie, but I think that they did a nice job. And obviously the interior coat now, or interior plaid shirt. This shirt, with the shapes on them, sometimes they appear a little bit purple, sometimes blue. This one is definitely kind of a little bit more on the bluish purplish side, so I think it's very, very well done. It just really, again, just depends on the scene, but I think that looks very, very good, as you can see. And then, of course, we get into that portrait. I feel like this one is not perfect. It is not perfect in terms of likeness, but I feel like it is pretty damn close. It also depends on the angle. Like, I feel like this right here is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I feel like if you turn it to this side, I don't like this profile look as much. I don't feel like that looks quite as much like him. But I do feel like if you're able to display him either facing forward or slightly off to the side, I feel like that is absolutely Heath Ledger. I think they did a really, really nice job. So I'm going to come back down here so you can see kind of the texturing on the face. It is, some people have said it's appears a little bit more pancakey in terms of makeup. Again, this is paint on top of silicone. A lot of really great texturing on this. I will say that this particular scene, the Where's My Card, he did have a thicker paint. So I think that is very, very good. I feel like they did a really, really good job on the scarring. As you can see, I think that looks incredible. You can see the pits in his, in his face. I don't want to touch this with my bare hands, but you can just really see the scarring. Looks really good. The red looks great in person. It's got shine in some areas. And I just feel like they really did a nice job with that scarring there. You can also see the flesh color. I don't know if you guys can see, like the flesh color underneath there. The flesh color between his eyes, the flesh color up in his wrinkles of his forehead. It's very, very well done. So obviously, it is really that color underneath, and they added the makeup, the paint. The eyes look great. I feel like in person they could have maybe been a little bit darker. I would have liked to maybe have a little bit more smudge up top. There is a little bit of that. You can see that it's got the real eyelashes, the real eyebrows, all real hair, or at least hand-punched hair, which looks great. And then, of course, you have all of the hair up top as well. It's all hand-punched. But, I mean, just look at this thing. Look how creepy that is. The hair is another issue. It is out of the box. Let me again stand up here. Out of the box, it's all in a hairnet, so it's all squished up. My friend Jeff Morris said, hey, let it rest for a couple of days. And that's exactly what it needs to do. But one thing I love about it, so he dyed his hair, right? Heath Ledger had brown hair. You can actually see the brown hair. It's awesome. Also, he was a very much thinning actor. I love that they thinned the hair up top. Very, very screen accurate. You also notice that it has the paint from the makeup into his hair. It's very, very well done. It's subtle, but it's very, very good. But again, just the fact that this is all brown, that flows into the different color greens, very, very screen accurate. Again, this is, needing to rest. Again, there's a lot of these really tight curls right out of the box. So this needs to be played with. I do have a hair person in my family. It's really short in the back. I would have liked it maybe a little bit longer in the back. But again, that's just personal preference. It really depended on the scene. He did have shorter hair in areas, and toward the end of the movie, which they actually shot first, he had longer hair. Or actually, I think I might have that backwards. But he had longer hair in certain scenes because it grew out over production. But there's definitely some tight areas that I need to kind of loosen up a little bit. This is way too thick. But I think once I get it, once I figure it out, it's going to look really, really good. But the hair, again, is all hand punched. But I feel like this really, really looks realistic because of the thinness of it. And that's exactly how he looked. So you want it to be greasy. And that's the thing, is like this needs to be greasier. It needs to be as greasy as possible. And I think I can achieve that with some water and some product. Again, I'm going to have my family member come and take a look at this and see what she could do to try to help, improve it a little bit, because it's for $4,000 piece. You want it to be perfect, and it's just out of the box. It needs a little bit of work. But I think overall it doesn't look bad. I mean, considering it's right out of the box, I think it looks pretty darn decent actually. Again, the likeness for me is very, very good. It depends on the angle. I think especially if you have him like this, where you're kind of looking down on him a little bit, I think it's, for me, it's like probably a 9.5 out of 10, maybe a 9.4. Again, from this angle, I don't like that at all. I don't think that looks like him, but I do really think they captured it from this angle. So that to me is how I'm going to display him, just like that. Very, very impressive piece. Again, $4,000 for something like this. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but this is one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Like, it is just absolutely insane how big it is, how awesome it is. It's about 34 inches tall, give or take. Again, these are all approximate, by about 24 inches wide. So from elbow to shoulder, basically. So just to give you kind of an idea of what it is like in terms of how much space you're going to take. And from the beginning intro, you can kind of see how big it is compared to even me. I'm 6'2". If you watch the live unboxing, you get kind of an idea of it. But let me kind of zoom back here a little bit. Again, just kind of show you the whole thing of what it looks like on the table. Again, I'm going to have to create a very special display for him in the new Bat Bunker, because he's awesome, you know, and I can pair him up with the third scale from Prime 1 and the third scale from Queen that I have, and make a little Dark Knight Joker diorama. I most likely will be getting a Bale bust as well. The Infinity is going to be doing the unmasked Bale portrait where he's holding the cowl. That has been teased, and so there's a good chance that I will be doing that one as well. And making kind of a bookend of these two. I think this would make one hell of a display. Would I get a Two-Face? Yes. Would I get a Bane? Don't know about Bane. Scarecrow, maybe. But definitely Batman and Joker together. I think this would just make an insane, awesome display. And definitely a centerpiece for sure. I absolutely love this thing. Again, there's some areas where it's not perfect in the face. But overall, I'm so glad to have spent this money. Again, I know it's very, very expensive, but for me, it's worth it. I just think it's really, really cool. And again, it's just massive. It's just absolutely massive, and it's so intimidating, so creepy. But I think Infinity Studios just knocked it out of the park. And it does make me question whether I should get more busts or not, because you just really can't appreciate it until it's right in front of your face. And it is just really insane. Really, really insane. So I do want to turn it over to you guys, though. Like, what do you guys think of this piece? What do you think of him? Is it something that you would consider? I do have the link down below if you're interested in ordering it. Of course, that does help us here on the channel, so thank you guys as always. But I love it. I'm in love with it. I think it's awesome. Has this replaced all of my favorite, you know, third scales? And no, it's all, those are also so different. You know, when you look at that compared to this, your eye is immediately drawn to something like this even more. But I do think it fits. I think this will fit my collection just fine. Let me kind of spin him around and kind of show you. We can zoom back here a little bit so you can kind of see what he looks like. Again, I think he will fit just fine in my collection for sure. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about him. I think he's awesome. I'm so glad to have him in the collection. He's got so much presence, and he's just, he's just so freaking creepy. But thank you, Infinity, for making this. You made this dream come true for this Batman collector. Absolutely. I know Queen Studios is doing that life-size full figure. I've considered it, but I just, it would be very difficult to top this for me. I really love this guy a lot. But I do want to turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think of this? Please let me know in the comments. Are you thinking about picking it up? If you are, the link is in the description down below, and it does help us here on the channel tremendously. But, I mean, come on. This thing is absolutely insane. The hair, obviously, definitely can use a little bit of work. But other than that, I am absolutely in love with this thing. For me, it is a 9.9 out of 10. I absolutely freaking love it. It is awesome. So anyway, thank you guys so very much for checking out the video today. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. That really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. I want to thank Infinity Studios for making this in the first place. I am so excited to add a few more of these to my collection, because it's just, your eye goes to this, guys. It is absolutely impressive, and everybody is going to freak out when they see it, when they tour the Batcave. Hopefully one day you'll be able to do that as well. So anyway, thank you guys so very much for checking out the video today. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Consider hitting the join button down below for early access to our videos and other perks. And I cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your day to watch this content. I absolutely love this. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. That's so awesome.